I started my TikTok account to make myself happy. I figured that what I knew and what I loved to do was really history. As I met all of these commenters and other individuals on the platform that were fighting with me and challenging me to stuff and were trying to diminish my scholarship, it became a crusade where, wait, that's a lie. You should not say that.
In the run-up to the Philippines election in May, supporters of Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr. have flooded TikTok with misinformation to support his presidential bid.
Ang ginagawa ko dun sa video, sa TikTok account, sa TikTok video ng misinformation, I think I have the responsibility to delete that. Pero wala pa naman nagsabi sa akin sa message sa akin na fake news ka.
Many of these videos attempt to revise the Marcos family legacy. For instance, this post claims the windmills in the Philippine province of Ilocos Norte were built by the Marcoses. That's not true. The windmills are private ventures. Another clip claims that Bongbong's authoritarian father was touted as the best president in the world during his reign. But this claim could not be attributed to any reputable source. Bongbong's father, the late dictator Ferdinand Marcos, was ousted from the Philippine presidency in the People Power Revolution in 1986, amid a raft of charges and convictions involving ill-gotten wealth and human rights violations during his 21-year reign. Marcos declared nationwide martial law supposedly to fight communist insurgents. But in the 9 years of military rule, some 70,000 were arrested, 34,000 tortured, and 3,000 were killed, making it one of the most brutal parts of Philippines history.
I was a student activist, and I think that got me into trouble with the Marcos government. I was arrested during martial law, 1974, and detained for a little over 2 years. During my detention, I was tortured, and I suffered dehumanization in many forms. After I was released, it was my younger sister's turn to suffer. She suffered more than I did. She was abducted, she disappeared, and we have not found her to date.
Loans to fund ambitious infrastructure projects jacked up foreign deficit from $360 million to $28.3 billion in the span of his 2-decade rule. Court documents also showed that Marcos plundered as much as $10 billion. Overall, the Marcos regime was not the golden era many of his supporters imagined to be.
The son of the dictator is not an innocent bystander during martial law. He became vice governor and eventually governor of his father's province in the Ilocos region. He was also appointed by his father to become chief executive officer of a government corporation called the Philippine Communications Satellite. That government corporation was used to stash away the millions of dollars that his parents kept stealing from government coffers.
But this legacy appears forgotten, or worse, changed on TikTok. Up to 36 million, or around a third of the Philippine population, are TikTok users. Most of them are young voters who make up 52% of the national voting bloc. They were either toddlers or not yet born when the elder Marcos was in power.
Now that history is no longer in the high school curriculum, or at least history as it was taught to me, we now have a generation of youth who are ignorant of the details of the martial law era, who are ignorant of the details of the revolution.
First 2 years, 3 years of martial law, you can open your window, leave your house, nobody will touch it. That's how peaceful the country was.
I got that video to pinpoint something na pwedeng posibleng pagkuhanan na information na kasi sinabi niya to. Parang sinabi niya in really na one-sided yung story. Parang, oo nga naman, parang hindi natin nalalaman or hindi isinalibro yung mga magagandang buhay ng araw.
These videos have amassed millions of views and have been cited by voters as primary sources of information while deciding whom to vote for. TikTok Philippines has partnered with media organizations and the National Electoral Commission to fact check election propaganda. However, the videos aren't easily taken down, and when they are often reposted later, even across other social networking platforms for extra mileage.
They put a version of it on Facebook, or they put a version of it on YouTube. So I was also forced to jump platforms. What started out as, something fun, something easy to do, 3 minutes, max in a day, is now a whole production. I spend around 3 hours just making sure that one video is properly captioned and is properly posted in all those platforms.
And it worked in favor of the Marcoses. Having done away with Philippine history, they were able to flood social media, the internet, with their own version of history. And it is all in part and parcel of their plot, their scheme to get back to power.